order. We're going to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Mr. Sabosley, take over.
Okay, we have a much shorter agenda than we did last month here. So we're going to start off with planning and economic development. Item number 1 is the implementable comprehensive plan. About 2 months ago, council approved the contract to move forward with the implementable comprehensive plan. In order to start that process, Plum Council needs to appoint a steering committee. So in your packet, I've floated some not names, but positions. We're trying to get a good cross-section of people, from sports teams to church groups, to the senior center, the library, the municipal authority, the school district. So this would be an agenda item. We're reaching out to contact a number of people to see if they're interested in serving on the committee. And we hope to have a name or a list of names for you to appoint at next Monday's meeting.
Questions or comments? Agenda item.
Item number 2 under planning and economic development is the 2025 MS4 coloring contest. This is not going to be an agenda item next week, but I will have DJ explain to you exactly what's going on here.
So as you guys are aware, part of our MS4 program is the minimum control measures. That includes public participation, outreach, things like that. So North Huntington Township and Plum Boro partnered up with Norwin School District to do a similar contest to this. They've done it for a couple years in a row. Plum Boro's manager, Sherry Martino, actually talked to me at length one day about their program, concerns some of the parents had, some of the issues they had. So we took what their initial contest was, contorted it into what we have here. Partnered up with the school district. They helped distribute it. We did it as well. I think in future years, if we go back to this, we'll probably try and work it out with them, give a little more time, a little more notice and clarity on what the program's expecting. But we roughly received 104 submissions. I would say about 80 of those came in on Friday, the day that the things were due. There was some confusion on getting it out to the kids earlier. The staff's reviewed it in 4 age brackets. We've selected one winner, or one kid that we think would win. We'll be able to give you guys those names, and then ideally next week you guys will be able to give them a $50 prize for each of the 4 winners in the age groups. So kind of the money's part of the attractiveness to bring the kids in, but then on the flip side, it saves us from doing things like pamphlets, mailers, things like that. So I think it's money well spent doing this kind of program. Also gets a lot of the kids and the parents involved, and they find out a little bit about the purpose of the MS4 program.
Are we going to invite the winners to the meeting next week?
Yeah, they've been invited. I have 2 yeses and 2 maybes. And then later this week, I'm going to send a reminder email to all 4 again, try and make sure they're here. So yeah, ideally they'll all be here to receive it.
Good deal. Okay, next.
Very good. So next item is the Geo Solutions lot consolidation. If you remember last month, this appeared before us to be accepted as complete. DJ, is there an update for this month?
Yeah, we've received KU's review dated April 24th. So unless things change, any motions that you guys would make to approve this next week, we just ask that be conditioned on the KU review. And to clarify, their comments are mostly minor things, adding notations, clarifying some things. There's nothing catastrophic in the review letter.
Okay, comments, questions? Okay, it'll be agenda item.
So the lot consolidation would be approved, and then down the line, we would have conditional use approval and land development approval. Okay. Item number 4, Olympus Energy, request for consent of notice and assignment. So you can see the letter we received in the mail today from Olympus Energy. As you may or may not know, and I had sent out an email, Olympus Energy is being acquired by EQT, or one of their subsidiaries. Currently, with Olympus, we do have 2 letters of agreement, development agreements, and bonds. This letter is asking that the borough approve the assignment of those items from Olympus to EQT and their subsidiary.
Questions or comments?
The only thing I would say is that you should probably, you're gonna have it on the agenda, but I think we should hear from them saying that they're gonna agree to all the various conditions that have already been put on. So, while we might consent to this, and I don't see any reason, it's kind of perfunctory, it's just kind of, it just needs to be done pursuant to the agreements. You should have the new assignee agreeing to the conditions that are in place.
We'll take
Okay,
care of
any
that.
other comments? Okay, that'll be an agenda item.
Personnel and management, council did meet prior to the meeting in executive session to discuss 2 items that will appear on the agenda next week for potential hires in Public Works and a part-time custodian. Nothing under public safety. Moving to Parks and Recreation. Paul, I know you and Skip had both received a phone call from Mike Devine, and his email is in the packet here. Mike is associated with the Plum Boro Basketball Organization, PBBO, and they are looking to become recognized by the borough as a community group. And if you look at our social media guidelines, it says, you know, if council is to add any community groups, it must be approved at a public meeting. In our social media policy, all that does, a community group, they can request that we advertise certain things for them. I think, Paul, Mike had talked to you about some other things they were looking to do.
Yeah. So, I mean, they just want to be a community group to be able to advertise and be able to utilize the borough facilities that they can. So I think it's a good idea. It's Plum Boro kids, Plum Boro citizens. So I think it's a great idea.
Okay?
Any questions, comments?
So have we had a basketball group before? Because I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think we ever
don't.
did. The only basketball group that I know of that's been in Plum is the Y. It was always run by the Y, so that was the sign up. They did the scheduling. We used to play the old Pivot gym.
Yeah, my kids played at the old center.
Yeah.
But this group has been around for a long time, actually, long before Mike Devine took it over. They've been here for years.
I think they were loosely affiliated. Yeah, I don't think that they were like a,
They were pretty good, because Jay White used to run it, and they've been around for a
oh, was it? Was that his?
I've
I
always
remember
wondered
Jay
why-
White.
I'm sorry, I always wondered why they weren't, you know, on par with the baseball group or soccer before. But
then
I
this-
didn't know there
then-
was something you had to do.
Yeah, then this is a long time coming. I'm glad we're
Yeah.
doing it. I'm glad he came to us.
Is this in competition to the Y basketball group or not?
I don't know if the Y does it anymore.
I don't know. if
Yeah,
they do
my
or not.
kids are all grown and out the door, so I don't think. I think that's what Mike does and what he's doing is filling that
That's taken
void.
over for what
Yeah,
the
filling that
Y
void.
did.
Yeah, the action by council is not going to affect the relationship
Yeah.
between the YMCA and this group. And they're going to both continue to do what they do.
Yeah, this just allows them that they can use our Facebook, our borough page and, you know, things like that to advertise for signups and things like that, camps. Any other questions or comments? Okay, agenda item.
Okay, nothing under finance, moving to roads, equipment, and grounds. Item number 8, PBMA request for a water line easement. If you remember last year, the borough, in cooperation with the PBMA, constructed a water line along Mike Thomas Way, which crossed over Old Leechburg and connected up to the water lines that feed the Rustic Ridge plan of homes. The line is already constructed. You can see in your monitor, in your packet, the area of the easement that they're requesting. Charlie, do you have anything to add to this about the construction of the line or the existence of the line?
Yeah, Dave, you pretty much summed it up well. Yeah, we got, permission to install the line and then to record the easement after, so it's exactly within the easement, so, but yeah, Dave hit the nail on the head.
Any comments or questions? Okay, agenda item.
Last item on the agenda, it's under roads, equipment, and grounds. It's a grant application for a flood mitigation program. I'm gonna let DJ handle this. Council had made a motion last month to approve a resolution for a program, and looks like we're pivoting here to in a new direction.
Yeah, last month, when we presented this to you guys, we got you to pass a resolution to pursue this flood mitigation program grant. It's a maximum of $500,000 with a 15% match. And the intention at the time was to use that to fund what they're considering a eligible use of fund to do the engineering and design. The HECRAS study is what it's called, along with the survey work and things, to confirm if the existing culvert pieces we have would work to replace what's down there, or if we would have to alter the scope to include ordering a new piece, which the difference between using what we have and having to buy a new structure, several $100,000. As we got into the grant application, we came across the fact that they actually want the engineering done, and I'm assuming it's a typo, but it's not worth trying to go to DCD to get it worked out, but they actually want the HECRAS study to justify the HECRAS study to request the funds. It just doesn't make sense. So our thought, we put our heads together. The Center Beach project's coming up. We do have an LSA grant that you guys, I believe it was end of last year, we got your approval to go after that. We'd like to chase this grant because the HECRAS study and things were already done. So that's justification that there is a flooding issue, and we would use Charlie to write that initial exhibit, which is his analysis and opinion that this would be a good flood control project. So yeah, unfortunately, it's something we missed, that when we looked at this, we look at the eligible use of funds, and then when we go to prepare it, we found that it actually contradicts itself. But I think in the future, we'll be more cognizant that that's a chance that it could happen. But unfortunately, in this case, we kind of got stuck here. So we still have time. It's through the end of the month, but we would need a new resolution from you to proceed.
Charlie, work quick. Work quick.
So what does
Work
this do
quick.
to the, what does this do to the Drennan Road project, though? Is that just like pushed off for some other
It's
grant?
going to delay it. We have a quote from Charlie's firm to do the HECRAS and the survey work, but it wasn't originally part of this year's budget. We were hoping to include that in the grant request. But again, they're double language where you need the HECRAS to ask for the money to pay for HECRAS. It doesn't make sense. And you're not allowed to spend the money and then use the grant funds later to reimburse yourself. You have to declare it all up front.
So yeah, I mean, it'll definitely push the other project back probably a year.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Okay, that is a motion to be put on the agenda.
That's all I
And
have.
that's it? Okay, I need a motion to adjourn. Steve Schlock has made a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Seitz. All those in favor? Motion carries. We are adjourned.